Welcome to This Week in Marketing, where Coach Jason Pantana and I help you modernize your marketing, build your brand, and ultimately win more business. I am so excited. I've got the craziest posse here in front of us, starting with Courtney, ladies and gentlemen. You've seen her, you know her. She does all my Instagram stuff and so much more. And you're not actually that tall.
I am.
No, you are on an Apple box once again.
I bought stilts just for this.
Yes, you did. Jason Pantana, everybody knows him. Everybody likes him. What is it about you? I don't know. And then
everybody likes me.
Then there's the star of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. He's thrown up 3 times since he's gotten to the office.
Yeah. They're big guys.
So for the 17 real estate agents that are watching this that don't know who the broke agent is, please introduce yourself.
Okay.
Let them know who you are.
Okay. I'm Eric Simon, the broke agent.
Yes.
I do real estate media and comedy, and I have 337,000 followers on Instagram.
He's saying that just because, hey, you should take that personally.
I do.
Because he has more than us. So let's actually go through the numbers, because you started the BA how long ago now?
6 years.
So 6 years in. So everyone that's listening right now, before you just you're wishing you were here because it's fun and it's goofy. But here's the deal. We're going to talk about how do you grow your reach organically, right? Unlike some people we were talking about a minute ago, we will not mention that have a lot of paid people that follow them. We're going to talk about attracting your tribe. I also want to talk about mistakes that you guys see, all of us that we see, that agents are making on their socials, on their reel, on their videos, everything that they're doing that just maybe if they just made a little adjustment, they would attract more people, they'd be more likable, they'd connect with more people, right? Okay. I want to talk about what's really working on TikTok and Reels, big time. And then I really want to get into, there's an issue out there today, Eric, that I see, and I know you see the same thing, right? You see the same thing, that there's just too many people that are either A, trying to be someone else, or B, have no idea who they are. So they're afraid to get on camera because they're just, they don't know what their it is. Mm-hmm. And then I have 7 questions I'm going to ask you that I promise you will throw up. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And only
all about you.
Let's get over it at this
You think that might go viral?
Hey, probably.
We should do it. Okay. All right.
Good idea. So it's freezing in here too. It's like Lambeau Field. You got 10 people here, a bunch of
everybody else is in parka,
shaking. Yeah.
You should open a t-shirt.
It's like your conference.
You didn't get the memo. No. It is like my conference. Yeah. Okay. You have 337,000 followers on Insta. So that's in 6 years, all organic. 100,000 people on Facebook, 50,000 on Twitter, 10,000 on TikTok, if I remember correctly.
Correct.
So you got more than 500,000 followers, and you've done it all organically. Talk to us if you're coaching me and I'm just starting and I want to do this. I want to reach more people. I want to authentically connect. What do I need to do to build my reach?
Well, the first thing I would do is follow content creators and learn from other content creators. Like Jason, like Katie Day, Glenda Baker, Tay DeCarlo. So there's so many agents that
were those all paid advertisements by the way?
By
those people?
Yes. They're all your coaching clients too. So I'm just throwing it all in here.
Yes.
But there's so many agents.
But why would you follow a bunch of people like that?
To get inspiration from content. So there's a lot of agents. There's a guy I'm working with right now. So I do social media consulting too. There's a guy that I'm working with that's an agent at Compass, and he has no idea what to post because he's not following any other agents. He's not following any other creators. So he's posting just solds, just listeds, and just classic template stuff.
Snoozy.
And he has no idea what else is out there. So the first thing I would do is follow other agents, like the people I just mentioned. Follow other creators, follow people in your niche, and then you'll kind of figure out what to post from there.
Okay, I'm gonna kick it over to you. What do you think? How does somebody, you did your dog, you went from 0 to 12,000 followers with your dog, and how fast?
Less, 6 months.
In 6 months, right? So just with their puppy. So what does an agent have to do? So he's saying follow creatives.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then I think it's just finding your niche, what it is that people are looking for.
Okay.
Because for example, my dog's page, I'm not going to post a bunch of stuff of me and my dog because people just want to see the dog. You know, so just finding and posting content that relates solely to the dog. And I think people need to narrow down what their niche is. People think that everyone is their demographic, everyone is, and it's not.
So how do I do that? How do I narrow down my niche? Because that actually is kind of nice. It kind of gets into the last question, which is the it factor. What is my thing?
Posting, so your hobbies, possibly, right? I mean, you have to differentiate yourself from other agents. So if you like sports or music or probably not politics, it's probably not the best one.
Only if you want to be polarizing.
Exactly,
but
which gets great engagement, but you also alienate half your audience.
But
I think the agents that hone in on something specific about them are ones you're going to attract clients and followers that relate with what you're doing. If you like skydiving, stupid example, or if you like I don't know, baseball or
Lakers.
something
I
like
thought
that.
that was a great
Lakers.
example.
Right.
It's because there was some skydiving agent that like spoke at one of your conferences once.
Yes. But
you remember it.
I've
Yes.
used that example.
Yes.
You
in
do a
every
market update on the way
podcast.
down.
Like on repeat.
Home prices, they're
like a-
falling. They're not, in case you're watching. Okay, so I'll give you an example. My brother Patrick, who you know, so Patrick has a Vizsla dog, and I forget what his new dog is. And literally, like, he would go to the dog park, and people would be like, "Oh my God, you have a Vizsla!" And then, what do you do? Oh, I sell real estate. Oh my God, you have a Vizsla. Here's $25,000.
Right.
Like they fell in love with him because of that like attracts like.
They just handed him $25,000.
Yeah.
At the
Wow.
dog park.
Wow.
Well, some people buy houses. Some people just give my brother
Oh, wow,
cash.
that's
No.
awesome.
But my point is that this likability around the things that we authentically like.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be someone watching right now like, okay, what is like the most? And I'll just act like I like that and post stuff about it. Does
Right.
that work?
No, definitely not.
You can see
because that's
through
not
it.
authentic. You can see through it. You could tell that you're not an expert in that field and that you're just trying to like, attract a crowd based off of that. So
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense.
So figure out what it is you're really good at and you like. Follow people that are super creative to R&D, right? What about you? Quiet
I have
guy.
I have a slightly different perspective.
Yes.
I got a couple of thoughts I'm sort of juggling. One is, I would say for starting out, you have to accept the fact that there is no garden that was ever grown that's beautiful that you didn't get your hands dirty doing the work.
Thank you.
So if you are expecting to be able to just have somebody magically like hire somebody off Fiverr or something like that, and they just magically push a button and your social is poof, everything you ever dreamed it would be, you are going to be gravely mistaken.
Right.
Things grow when you get your hands in, you do the work. Like if you make the calls, you get the reward. If you make the videos, you get the reward. That doesn't mean you have to be a graphic designer or a copywriter or a video editor.
No.
But you have to decide what's your contribution to your content mix. That's my starting advice. But as far as like involving,
That sounds
finding
like outsourcing buying art for my house.
yeah,
It shows up, you're like, what is all this shit?
yeah.
Right? Versus like carefully curating, going and looking and experiencing and thinking about and what do we really care about?
Yeah.
And who cares if it matches because it only matters to me.
Well, and this goes
Right?
back to the question of, does this seem authentic or genuine?
Right.
And what I would argue is, if it's my voice, if it's my perspective, then people are going to recognize this is this guy's page. This is his account. But people can tell when something's been kind of farmed out to somebody else.
For sure.
They can tell.
Well, it looks like nothing but listing videos.
Yeah,
Right.
or
I have
Canva.
a personal
Yes.
client that I will not say her name, but she knows because I'm like, she's like, I don't understand why my Instagram, like I get no action. You keep saying Instagram is great. I'm like, let me go on your page. Listing sold, listing sold, listing sold, listing sold. I'm like, why would anyone? I can go to the MLS.
Yeah.
I can go to Zillow. I can go to Realtor.com.
Instant
Like,
scroll through when you see
right,
that.
like you don't. No one cares, right?
Yeah.
So keep going. What else?
Well, so the other thing I've been thinking about is I've been watching Instagram, and I'd be curious your perspective on this. You made the comment about going niche, which I agree with. I've been noticing Instagram changing a little bit in what I'm reading and what they're doing, and it almost seems like it's going to be more like YouTube to some degree, where YouTube really learns what is this channel about? Who is this channel for? What content do they make on a repetitive basis so that I can serve it to those people again and again? And Instagram's been more like Facebook historically, where it's a little of this, a little of that. You put things together and it kind of creates a well-roundedness. But I think the need to go deep on a particular, like own your subject and don't deviate too far from it and be the definitive expert in that is becoming more critical. When I look at the creator info being one of the variables across all the different feeds in Instagram, for instance, it's got different levels of weight, but whether it's the Reels feed or the Explore feed or something like that. But Instagram is learning who is this account, what is the modal kind of creation of content, who are they for, and so like, are they a golf instructor or are they a real estate agent? I think there is. I'm just flushing this out a little bit, but I think there's going to be a level of needing to choose who's the audience I'm really going after, what do I talk about, and not going too far off base. I'm curious if I'm making
like
sense.
staying in your lane.
Yeah.
But even if we talk about like content buckets, and I've got multiple lanes.
You can have multiple lanes.
Right.
You know?
So,
Yeah.
but as long as you're consistent with multiple lanes. But if
Yeah.
you do one random and you're like, why didn't that perform well?
Or why did it perform well and
Or why
nothing
did
else
it?
does?
There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think it's about like building an audience around content that happens, like results are in repetition. So again and again and again, I add the content. And then Instagram or whatever the platform is starts to learn, oh, this person makes this kind of content and they're going to go find an audience for that.
Right. Why did we invite the BA?
Yeah, exactly. This guy's so good on social media. This is literally the expert right here.
No, but okay,
I'm
so
like, I have 337 Instagram followers. That was the worst intro I ever
Well,
gave,
I'm
by the way.
curious.
No,
I'm
but
curious
listen,
to know.
Yeah,
Stop
so
thinking
no,
about
no,
that intro.
yeah,
I'm
I
curious-
want to hit him and you.
Well,
Okay,
So-
all right, let's just start the whole podcast. Why am I acting like I'm cold? In honor of you. It's hot in here.
It actually is hot.
Yes.
Well-
see, you're hot, baby. All right.
exactly.
Okay.
I'm really,
Question for the
I'm
BA.
really curious to know because like a majority of your account is meme based. So is your
Yes.
explore
Right.
is your explore page meme based as well?
It's all hot women mostly and golf shots. nuts. Yeah. No, it's a lot. It's a lot of meme based stuff for sure. And I follow, hashtags like realtor memes, real estate problems, realtor problems, that type of stuff.
But it's a majority of like meme accounts. It's similar to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. And I follow those meme accounts to get inspiration from too.
Yeah.
So a lot of what I do is I try to stay on topic culturally. So if it's, November, we're talking about, the red flags was like a huge type of post, or Thanksgiving.
Pete Davidson.
Or Pete Davidson, exactly. I posted a Pete Davidson meme that I didn't even create. It got 20,000 shares to it.
Yeah.
So back to the original question about how to grow your account, if you're staying culturally relevant, that's the type of stuff that gets shared and gets discovered. So you always have to be relevant. You can't keep posting Tiger King memes. Right. Even though Tiger King 2 is coming out, so bad reference. Yes. Squid Game, that's like antiquated now at this point too. So
I have a follow-up question to that. Yeah. So your account is different than like most real estate agents' accounts, right? So we're not saying that they should be posting memes because that might not be their niche, right? So if they were to now take this advice and like start posting, what would you say to that?
About real estate agents posting memes?
Yeah.
Well, humor definitely works in marketing. And you don't have to make it agent on agent humor. Like there's agent to client humor.
Right.
So a lot of my humor is, the inner monologue of a struggling agent and stuff that's bad about clients, like complaining about clients. But if agents use humor, it doesn't even have to be meme based, but you're just talking about an inspection that goes wrong,
right?
Or an offer situation that blew up in your face. That's the type of vulnerability and authenticity that people relate to more than showing the just solds, just listeds, motivational quotes, grind culture, that type of stuff. Because like that stuff's like so overplayed at this point,
right?
And that's kind of why I started the Broke Agent. 2015-16 was all Gary Vee, who crushes content, obviously, but everybody was trying to emulate him and become like their own Tom Ferry, basically. And then I just went against the grain. And I think so many agents are doing that now and have started to evolve their content to show more personality and show like the bullshit we go through in real estate, because that's interesting.
Yeah. I think it also goes back to, it's like the phrase, be unapologetically you. Right. The more I see like Matt, who's not here, right? And so many others, Zach is a great example, that they're just themselves, which I love, because like you are who you are. It's like when people say to me, I'm afraid to shoot videos, like, like if I don't feel good about myself or the way I look or the way I talk, I'm like, well, what are you gonna do when the client shows up and meets you? Like they're gonna meet you anyway. Like put it out there, find your tribe.
Absolutely.
What was
go ahead?
No, I'm sorry. What was the stat you shared about has reality television for real estate agents helped or hurt the public perception?
I don't want to misquote the number. It was actually a 1,000-watt research piece. It was something like your dad, right? So something like a 68% positive outlook on real estate professionals because of $1 Million Listing and all these other shows.
It made the industry cooler for sure.
Absolutely.
Like Matt said he got in, in because of Ryan Serhant.
Right.
So before, like I looked at real estate agents as not cool. Like out of college, I didn't want to become a real estate agent. I don't want to be a real estate agent right now.
Are you a real estate agent?
Not really, no. Brokerage. Don't tell my brokerage. But this has made it cool because
they're like, just pay your fees.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I'm doing. Just MLS fees, like seemingly twice a week at this point, it seems. But it did make it cool because you see like kind of the glamorous style. It's all these attractive 100%. People in these 6 cities and these 6 apartments.
Right.
So I think it's led to an influx of cooler people into the industry.
I agree. It's 17% of the GDP of the US. It's a multi-trillion-dollar business.
All reality shows?
No, just real estate, housing, right? Yeah, exactly. Shut up.
Really?
Okay,
that'd be the dumbest thing. Yeah.
That actually would be All right. He just stumped me on my own podcast. That is, by the way, that's going to be the meme moment right there. I just want that. Okay, let's talk about mistakes.
Okay.
What are the biggest mistakes everybody's seeing? And this isn't like a shout out, like, shame on you. It's like, hey, like we gently want to remind you, for example, having your profile just be nothing but listings and sales is kind of boring. But what are the other mistakes you guys are seeing?
I'll go with like the @ name, not having your actual name.
Oh yeah.
When you have like some like kitty cat girl 25, something like I brought my cat.
Spoken like a true kitty cat
but
girl.
Like it's very hard to find.
Is that your other channel, by the way?
No, that's
okay. All right.
No. But it's really hard to find, someone when you're like, what's your name again? That's a mistake. And then also the bio. When people's bio is extremely messy, I'm like, wait, where do you work? Like, you need to be bullet pointed. I work here. This is what I do. Here are links. Boom.
The number of profiles I've seen on Instagram that don't tell me the city you work in and what you do for a living. I'm like, thank you for following me. I'm like, and they're like, hey, would you follow me back? And I'm like, I know your name. That's all I know. And I see a link tree. Congratulations. That's a great little point, but a significant point.
Yeah.
What else?
I would say like an over-reliance on filler types of content. So for example, a lot of people are using Canva. I use Canva. Nothing against Canva, but I think, again, going back to a lot of agents are relying on, I've got to make more content. I need ways to kind of streamline that. And they go with filler like graphics posts or carousels that look like they're templates.
Yeah.
And it's a lack of putting yourself in the content. People follow people. They don't follow graphics,
Right.
for instance.
What was the thing you said about
You guys graphics?
Except for memes.
Yeah.
They follow memes.
In my template platform. Yeah, exactly.
You
Just undercut everything I do.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody
like, you
follows
literally
The
just
reason
said
I'm here. Yeah. Okay.
And the Black Friday special on the
Exactly.
bullshit graphics you sell. All right, so
Exactly.
you said a blueprint, and I don't want to botch it, so please correct me. But something along the lines of like sending out a post like that, it would be like sending a stock photo of someone not other than your family for a holiday
Can I
card.
define
exactly.
templates for a second?
Please.
Well, a lot of agents don't have the time or the creatability to post their self every single day
Yes.
or do their own reels or videos. So if someone else could create content and they could customize it and brand it to themselves, that's still useful.
Can they?
Like,
can they put their photo inside there? Can
Yeah,
they make
they
it a
can.
part of
Yeah,
them?
yeah, they can.
What if you did like superimpose their photo inside there and people like saw it, like had to like really see, oh, that's Eric.
that would be insane. I mean, I don't even know what you're
like a
talking
where's
about.
Eric? Like a where's Waldo?
Right.
Like
that actually is even
You
better.
put your face
Find
on
me
the
in this
photo
photo.
small.
My
Yeah.
face? Okay, yeah. That's
You know,
fine.
Scott Zakin does that.
But I think
Are you
like,
serious?
Yeah.
Oh, I love
In their
that.
email.
still getting up
Shout
a
out to
post
Scott.
is important for social media.
Wait, say
Like,
that again.
He's saying,
still getting up a post. So like if you have nothing to post and you are using a template or it's a template about Christmas or something like that, you're still at least like getting your name out there to be top of mind. Because not everybody could come up with an organic post every single time.
Can I challenge that?
No.
Like, okay. Next.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, so what are the biggest mistakes you see agents making besides not putting
Doing
templated
everything
posts?
with JSON, basically. Mistakes. I kind of covered it with the just listed solds, motivational quotes, but not having a variety of content would be one too.
Yeah.
The best profiles.
buckets.
Buckets. Yeah, you guys. What are the
Hashtag
buckets
buckets.
things?
Okay, explain.
We just do different buckets of content so that I can figure out, like, if we were to create a piece of content, it's mindset based. It's going to go in a mindset bucket. We have 5 different buckets so that I can keep track of the themes of the content. We're just like not all over the place. We know, like, when we're making content, we need to fill up this bucket because we're lacking.
Right.
So
Think
we
of, like,
have
themes.
So
Okay.
we
Right,
have
it's just
like
a theme
on
yeah.
mindset,
Sorry.
a theme on
Yeah.
this, a theme on that.
He's confused.
So we
Tom,
typically
Tom traveling, Tom with his family.
Right, those are-
Tom straight to camera doing
Those
content.
are topical buckets. I'm talking types of posts. So I see a lot of agents that will just do singular posts. You should do reels. You should do videos. You should do carousel posts. You should do text-based posts. You should do graphics, Canva
absolutely
graphics,
should.
Yeah.
stories. Like you have to hit Instagram from all angles.
Yep.
Yes.
Like how Instagram promotes people is people that use every single aspect
Right.
of Instagram. You have to go live.
Agreed.
Well, I'm the one that's saying it.
I know, but
Give me that. Yeah, exactly.
But I'm
you
cuter.
nailed that thing. Crushed it.
yeah, exactly.
Keep making it.
High five.
I thought, didn't you just feed him that line?
What?
Yeah,
No,
I did.
just
Under
said
the
that.
table. I slipped
I
him a
came
note.
prepared with that.
All right.
Are you kidding me?
You're like, I'm out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I got.
Can I doubling down on that? Like
thank you.
It's the same thing as
algorithmically.
Google, right? Same thing.
Well, it is, but algorithmically on Instagram, one of the things that determines what you see in your own feed is based upon what you've interacted with in the past. So some of your users may be prone to watch reels more so than others. Others might love carousels. And so the more variety you give Instagram, you're potentially reaching a wider base of your followers on a recurring basis.
Right.
Because you don't know what their preferences are as far as format of post is concerned.
But to be clear, it's not just Instagram. That's every channel.
Well,
YouTube,
But we kind of
YouTube
know.
for sure.
Yeah.
yeah.
Beyond.
But we kind of know what they like because based off of like the number of saves and like that's why reporting and all that stuff is so pivotal because now I know like a lot of people like his reels because I'm getting 500 plus saves on it or, you know.
But you don't necessarily know, like, if you got 200,000 followers, is it the same groups and certain types of content? And I want to make sure I'm hitting the full array of my followers as much as possible.
Also,
Hence,
just-
multiple buckets.
it's more interesting too to see different types of content.
collage.
Like I want to see
Yeah.
video content of someone. I want to see a carousel post of their, just solds or whatever. Like hitting them with different pieces shows that you could do a variety of different things, and that it's just more interesting to follow.
Here's sharing other people's stuff on your main page, on your main news
Am
feed.
I?
Like, do you recommend
Maybe
it?
later.
Yeah,
Besides Jason?
Jason's been like
Jason's still
begging
on.
me for the entire
Should
time.
Jason Pantana have his own separate channel of just him dressed as like a 1970s cop?
He should, absolutely.
Should I get a mustache
Does
for that
anybody else
channel?
think like Jason Pantana sliding over the like the Mustang, the
cop car.
right? Yes or no? Yes.
Picturing like Starsky and Hutch.
Starsky
You
and
do look
Hutch.
like
Reno
you're from
911.
the
Right.
I mean,
Bill
and I got
Pipes could be your
corduroy
partner.
on. Bill Pipes.
Driving the car.
The event.
Yeah.
It could be like the intro video.
Oh, I'm loving this. All right. So other mistakes.
All right, I said all the mistakes already.
Cool. All right, let's go to the next question then. So let's talk TikTok and Reels. TikTok and Reels. So you go first.
Just start talking about it? Okay.
Yeah.
You got to create TikToks and Reels.
All right,
Okay.
Jason, next.
No, I'm good. I can do better than that. I can do
There's a
better
big
than that.
mistake we missed.
What's the big mistake?
I see a lot of agents, they keep putting the same post up that is underperforming, and they're literally tanking their algorithm. So like I see this with teams a lot where they're like, review of team member, celebrating a team member kind of a thing, because they want their team members to feel a sense of recognition.
And it gets
but it gets
no
like
likes,
4
no
likes,
hearts,
5 likes, 3 likes. You're literally training your followers to scroll past your stuff. And so
Right.
algorithmically, Instagram's going to stop showing it to them.
So what's a better way to do it? Because we do want to acknowledge our team, right?
yes.
We want to acknowledge the players. We want it you want to give them that recognition. So is it maybe,
Internally, Facebook groups,
or
things like
I
that.
do a video first,
Yes.
and then the slide
Instagram
over
story
is,
takeover.
Yeah,
Story takeovers, using
Right.
the collab
There you go.
feature,
There you
potentially.
go.
I just
Byron,
think
you got that?
He's taking
He
notes.
said I do.
He's booking a room at the Ritz right now.
I think you got to look, if you do too much, like I call it cluster posting sometimes, where it's the same thing over and over again.
Cluster.
And literally,
That is
you're
a cluster.
training, you're training the
All these
algorithm
terms.
to stop showing you to places. So it goes back to his case for variety of content. Don't do too much of the same thing if it's underperforming.
Yeah.
But just watch out for those types of
Also,
things.
repeat content.
Thank
Instagram has an algorithm where they see content that's already been posted. So even if I'm doing a meme of some, like even like an old meme that I've done, repurposing old content, I still try to switch up the word because they have the software now that sees this has been posted already.
Yep.
So you always have to switch something up. So for Reels, I would say always use a trending song, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah.
Throw it on, even throw the volume at 0 if you have to,
Yep.
because
Still haven't figured out how to do that.
I know.
you just put volume down to 0.
You know, I've tried. No, with him, I tried.
Oh, you
I
haven't
said that
figured it out?
very well.
Texting her at midnight. How do I turn the volume off?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
And then a hack that I just taught Byron actually, which is genius. And
Let's talk more about him like he's not inside the room.
Okay, got it.
Who's Byron? I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
Where's
Is-
Matt?
Hey, Byron.
If you have a business account, which most agents probably do, especially
Yes.
if you're running like a team account and you don't have trending music, you could switch your category to entrepreneur and you'll get all of the trending songs.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. Everybody
know
do it
that?
right now. Byron just did it on the car on the way over here. He's got
Yeah.
every song.
Right. Do I have that?
you hide.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And then you hide your category because your category
Yeah.
will say entrepreneur. You don't want it to
In
say
your
that
bio,
because
yeah.
then you look like an asshole.
Right.
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not me.
Yeah.
Not you.
my
Not you.
Not
category-
you. You're an entrepreneur.
Yeah, but it's just calling yourself an entrepreneur
Is
I think.
douchey.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
with
What are you-
Reels
I'm a guru.
too.
Yeah, I'm a guru.
I'm a
exactly.
mogul.
Yeah, you are a guru.
Can you imagine if someone actually put that like I've actually seen that in people's like their like bio like
Guru?
social media guru and I'm like 1,100
Really?
followers. Yeah, tell me more about that.
I don't know about
Those are
that.
usually the ones that are like trying to sell you fake accounts.
Yeah, I'm trying to sell
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
subscriptions.
Okay, let's go back to Reels. So there's no doubt that the algo has changed. No different from I remember getting this app. I remember calling Gary Vee and going, "Hey man, I just got this app from Facebook. I
called
think
up
I can
Gary
go live on this." And he's like, "Dude, hit the button." And I remember the first time I went live on Facebook, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's the whole world now. Everything is going to be video. Everything is going to be live." What producer app or whatever it was, and then it was gone. It was unbelievable. Reels is that, right? It's almost like forget what's on your page. It's only about Reels.
Well, it's how you consume content now. Like when I go on
Right.
TikTok, I go in holes of 45 minutes to an hour because
Right.
it's.
I'm
first
glad
of all,
you
it's-
described it that way.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
it's feeding you high quality, vertical
Right.
sounds,
Right.
hot people,
Yeah.
like in my
Yep.
face, golf shots, nonstop. I can't
Yes.
stop looking
Yes.
at it.
Yes.
And
Hotgolfers.com.
What does your feed look like?
Anybody? I've got the entire team here going, whoa.
Oh man.
the cameras just shut off.
It's kind of a mature audience warning on
But it's so much more entertaining to watch that.
Yes.
So that's why Instagram, obviously, with Reels, yes.
Right. So that was, so I was talking, I can't say the guy's name, but a friend of mine is a high ranking official. Remember the guy we were talking to at TikTok?
Politician?
Yeah.
TikTok, more important than a politician. He said, look, it's not anything other than entertainment. He goes, think of your TikTok as Netflix.
Right.
Exactly.
So the more creative, the more intense, the more fun, the more entertaining, and the more you do, you're going to kill it.
Well, YouTube or Instagram, the Instagram CEO just posted an IGTV like last month about how Instagram is now an entertainment app.
Yep.
Right.
So you have to think
Video
about that. How do I
first.
entertain my
Same.
audience? How do I
Right.
provide value, whether it's education or humor based?
Yeah.
And we're in an industry, luckily enough, where you have so much content and so much value because every single person wants to know about houses. They want
Right.
to know about, I don't know about interest rates, but they want to know about the market, right?
We have a client in Houston. I'm going to space on her name, and you know who you are because I met you at our little Houston, whatever, pre-summit event. This gal went out. She's like, I'm a brand new agent. She just took her phone. She went live on Facebook, and she walked through every new home subdivision, like one new home subdivision a day, and said, what do you think about this house? What do you think about this furniture? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And sold 53 houses her first year in the business. I'm like, where'd your business come from? 53 deals in her first year. She's like, I just, for the first 8 months, just walked every subdivision. Every one of my friends were like, that's an amazing house. How much is that worth? Like, what do I need to do?
Yeah.
Like, that was it. But
We have nonstop content. Like even
Content
if you're
is
not,
everywhere.
Even if you're not doing real estate activities,
Right.
you could film yourself at your computer coming up with a property description or something
Right.
and thinking of a different word for modern. I mean, that's not a good video, but just
it could be.
Tay DeCarlo did that video and it crushed it.
exactly.
It was funny.
That's where I'm getting this
Yeah.
from.
Yes. Okay.
Can you just let me originate one thing without having to cite every source? This guy's undercutting everything I want.
Where's this
Yeah.
blog?
Jason
I'm
is the
blog.
Wikipedia, by the way. So, yes.
That was from
Fact
Tay
checker.
DeCarlo.
Yes. Oh, fact checker.
Excuse me, I think you meant.
Okay, so
That was
let's
a Glenda
but
Baker video from
Let's explore this
2010.
for a minute. Like,
2011.
Nothing you're saying is original.
let's talk about where do you find creativity? And maybe what is your recommendation? And then I'm going to bounce to everybody here. Recommendation for finding things that you think might be interesting that are worth doing a reel on, doing a TikTok on. Like, what do you recommend?
Well, when I was doing more real estate stuff, it would come from my actual experience. So that's stopped because I've stopped doing real estate stuff. But now I'm getting so many submissions, which is great. So I have agents that are, submitting whether it's Discord, on Facebook, or in my instant messages.
Yep.
So I'm getting inspiration from other agents. I'll
Yes.
literally go on real estate Facebook groups, scroll through lab code agents,
Yeah.
scroll through
for
my
sure.
Love
Facebook
that.
page,
Yeah.
go on your page
Yeah.
and see like, okay, what are people talking about?
Yeah.
And then I'll take a post from that. And then I'll always try to keep it culturally relevant and then
Right.
technologically relevant, meaning this is the post style that's crushing it right now.
Yeah.
Right? So I get inspiration from that. And then, like I said before, scrolling through TikTok, scrolling through Instagram,
Yep.
following the hashtags in my niche and following other agents. So I get inspiration, like, because I'll wake up today and not know what to post, but then I'll check my DMs and see something, or I'll see a post from another meme account
Right.
and I'll steal it and throw at an open house on it and then tag that account.
R&D.
Yeah.
Right. R&D.
But seriously, I mean,
Yes.
everything is, taking inspiration from something else. So I think
1000%.
back to my original point is consuming an insane amount of content is doing work
Yes.
because you're learning, oh, this is the post style that's doing well. This is the type of caption that's doing well. These are the hashtags.
research
I want to
and development.
emulate
Yeah.
those.
Right.
That's why I have a job.
Thank you. Thank you. Katie, you can get in on that action. So in case people are wondering, that's not Katie Day. Anybody out there watching? All right.
You guys look all confused.
It's the real Katie. Sorry, Katie Day. Katie Day,
Behind us.
Katie Day only has one name. I'm going to ask her today on my podcast, what's her last name?
Well, Katie does. She's like Madonna.
She is. She's just
Yeah.
Katie Day.
She wears
Like
the same
Mary
shirt
Jet.
every single
She is
day.
Mary
too.
Jet. Mary Jet is
Mary
only
Jet.
one name.
Right.
She's
Yeah.
one name. What's your last name? Jet? She's like, your name is Mary
Is her,
Jet.
is her
Jet?
name actually
Somebody
not
act-
Day?
Say again?
Is her last name actually not Day?
No. God, I just
Exposed.
Of course I'm just messing with you. Okay.
Delete all that.
You once said, no. By the way, that's just going to be the section I want on my Instagram. Just confusion.
That's
You
his
looking
name.
like a moron.
Just watch this. You once said to me there was 3 things to make sure you're being technologically relevant, which is the first time I heard that. So big shout out to GA
Genius,
for that.
right?
That was absolutely genius. Trending sound, hashtag, and then text, or am I missing it? Remember, you
text
gave me
it-
like 3 things. You're like, every reel's got to have like these 2 or 3 things.
I feel like trending sound is one of them. I think text directly on the video.
Yeah,
That's one of them. And then the hashtags, not overdoing it. I think you just need like 3 or 4 of them. Yeah. And then you'll be good to go. But with the trending sounds, what's easy is that I just scroll through your reels and you'll see multiple sounds pop up and I'm like, okay, that one's a hot one.
Yeah.
It's trending, but I've seen 4 or 5 videos of it within
Right.
the last 5 minutes.
Right.
I'm going to do something that follows that or not and just use the sound.
What about length?
7 seconds is the sweet spot.
7 seconds.
Are we
for the
really
reel.
back to what was that? What was the
Vine.
old Vine
Yeah, it
videos?
is.
Mine was 6
I remember going,
seconds.
how am I going to do anything in like 6 or 7 seconds? And like now that's the new world.
The story
7
of Vine's
seconds.
fascinating.
Yeah.
Do you know why it went, like, this is totally an aside, but do you know why it's not really around anymore?
No.
Because it was really hard to make that content. and everybody realized he was making that content. If I put it on YouTube, I could get paid.
Oh, and that's why
yeah.
they moved there.
Which
Jake
is
Paul,
why,
Logan Paul,
but that's
everybody
why all
transitioned
these,
over.
like,
Yeah.
that's why Zuckerberg put $1 billion on the table. That's why
Right.
TikTok put $200 million on the table. That's why creator funds exist, because they don't want to go that same way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the
ca-
world.
capturing in the reel in the first 2 seconds is the most important aspect.
Yep.
Right.
Because then you have that, and then having them watch the entire video too. So the text, you could have text throughout your reel that's kind of keeping them around.
Yep.
So if you're doing a house tour and you say, wait till you see the master
Yeah.
bedroom or something like that, you can stay around for 20 seconds. And it's that retention that keeps pushing it up in the
Agreed.
algorithm.
And it's also positioning the text too. People sometimes they give you the barriers of where you should be
Right.
putting the text. Some people put it too low and you're like,
I can't see it.
Yeah.
Unless I click it to watch the full screen.
exactly.
But what you said, like the first 2 seconds, like there's data. The first 3 seconds of a video, the Facebook did the study on this. If somebody watches 3 seconds of your video, 2/3 of those people will watch 10 seconds, and half of those people will go all the way to 30 seconds. So your opening frames are hypercritical
Right.
to get people to watch.
So you shouldn't start with like, "Hey, I'm just waiting for some people to go with me live."
Or say their name. Like when you're
Oh
like,
my
hey,
God.
I'm so and so, like
Yeah.
that, you already
Scroll.
wasted.
Yes.
Scroll,
Right.
or there's like a little intro theme song kind of
Oh,
thing.
gosh.
No. Okay, can we talk about like the biggest mistake in my opinion is the super long intro video.
Slideshow photos.
No, and it's like worse. I just saw one, and the gal was like pointing to captions in her intro video. I'm like, what? Like, what is it? 1978? Like, what
The
is
caption
this?
pointing is
The
so
caption
cringe.
pointing in her intro video.
Yeah.
Like the buffer, right? That's horrible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
No, but
call you
that's-
later and let you know it was you.
Is this the same San Francisco one? That you've
No.
been attacking?
No,
Okay.
no, that's worse. Okay, don't even get me started. Okay, but look, I want to go back to Eric. How much time? So it's 6 years ago. Like I know my story of how much time I spent on Facebook early, Twitter early, YouTube, Beluga. Do you remember Beluga?
No.
Exactly. That was yeah. So
was in
another
the
social
womb.
media site, Friendster, MySpace.
Yeah.
Like I dug in. How much time did you dig in? Because I know what you do now, but in the early days, if someone's watching this right now and they're like, "Oh, I just couldn't imagine spending 10 or 15 or 20% of my time
Yeah.
communicating with clients and potential clients in the most effective means possible."
Right.
Like they can't even imagine. How much time did you spend?
An enormous amount of time. So
Define enormous.
okay. I mean,
Quantify
I
it
don't know
for me.
about hours necessarily, but when Facebook first came out, I loved commenting on people's walls. So that's kind of where I got
Yeah.
my first
Yeah.
like dose of not adrenaline, of endorphins
Sure.
from comments and likes. Dopamine.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
Endorphins?
Fact
You had
check.
Twitter fingers, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So I was really good at
Serotonin?
commenting. Yeah. I was really good at commenting funny stuff on people's
Yes.
walls and making
Right.
funny videos and like
Right.
clapping back and like talking
Right.
shit on Facebook.
Yes.
So I spent a lot of, I'm very social. I spent a lot of
Yes.
time doing that.
Yes.
But when Instagram first came out to grow the broke agent, I spent hours commenting on accounts, commenting on your account, commenting
Yeah.
on Inman News, commenting on Ryan Serhant's,
Yeah.
liking photos. Cause back in the day you could hammer the like button
Oh, yeah.
Right.
10,000 times
Right.
a day and get follows.
Right. Yeah.
So the amount of community outreach that we did at the beginning was all day. Cause I just want to,
Nice.
there we go. Finally my own.
Right.
High
I did the
five.
same exact thing.
Yeah.
Same exact thing.
I would go in
Nonstop.
real estate
Yep.
Facebook groups and
Yep.
post the broke agent stuff everywhere.
Right.
I would, go to conferences. So
Yeah.
all of this is,
So
6
I didn't
years of
post
me.
my stuff on anybody else's stuff. All I did was comment like, "Oh, Eric,
Right.
congrats," or "Hey, did you think about this?" And like literally, they would, "Is this really Tom Ferry?"
Right, exactly.
And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'd be on an airplane for 4 or 5 hours just communicating with people on Facebook, and like, I created so many relationships doing that. And of course, then you get all the likes and all that stuff happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how much time do you spend now?
Still all day pretty much.
Right.
On Instagram specifically, I'm posting 2 or 3 times a day in my feed,
Mm-hmm.
at least 10 or 15 Instagram story posts. Then I publish to Facebook. I publish to Twitter.
Right.
I'm working on getting my mailing list up. So I'm doing email blasts. I'm doing lead pages for
Right.
ebooks and stuff like
Nice.
that.
Yeah.
I have my template platform that Jason's been undercutting this entire time. I have, the podcast.
I thought we were starting our own. Is that why you're undercutting?
Yeah, I'm just
Okay,
getting ready
just
to
wanna make sure. Okay, good.
I have
little
bad
sabotage.
bad real estate picks. My other
Right,
account. I have
right.
TikTok. So
what do you
it's
think of
becoming-
Actually Agent?
He's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
I
funny.
agree. Big shout out.
Yeah, big shout out Actually Agents. He's great. He has a huge Discord community.
Yep.
And I just started Discord also. So he's
Yeah.
done a really good job at fostering his community and
Yeah.
having different channels
Yes.
for, like meme creation
Yep.
and like helping out agents. And
How
he's been great too because now it's like someone else in the space is creating funny content. So we
Yes.
could kind of like build off of each other.
Exactly.
And then the competitive side comes out in me
For
too,
sure.
where I'm like, all right, now I'm not the only game in town.
Yeah.
I need to keep posting. I need
Yeah.
to, like, if there's a Pete Davidson,
Step it up.
I'm getting up at 6 a.m. and doing it.
The last question for the rapid fire
Okay.
BA questions.
Okay.
I'm going to have you sweating. How do all of you recommend?
In this climate, it's impossible.
Let's just go right to that. I didn't want to ask the last
Yeah.
question.
Okay, sorry.
Do you still live in a shitty apartment?
Yeah, I do.
so
I just got
that was my
engaged,
first-
by the way.
Why?
Oh, I'm like, are you dating anyone?
there we go.
Wow,
There we go.
congrats.
And does he or she know that you're broke?
Is she the rich agent?
Like, I'm not broke, and yes, I got engaged 6 days ago.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank
Does
you,
anybody have
thank
my
you.
Reverend Tom Ferry card?
Kathy said you need to renew it.
Ruby, I am Reverend Tom Ferry.
Yeah, you married Carrie and Eric.
Why? Yes, I didn't actually marry Carrie.
Right.
I was the Reverend,
That's right,
the
that's
officiant
right.
of their wedding.
Is this-
'Cause
are you asking
I
him?
said over like last summer, I'm like, oh, I married my sister over the summer, and I'm like, don't ever say that again.
Married.
Yeah, yes, and I was the officiant at her wedding. Okay, are you dating anybody? Check.
Is that your application? You want him to?
Who's better on
I don't know
camera?
about that. I need a rabbi. I'm Jewish.
Okay.
Tom Ferry's not a rabbi, are you? You Jewish?
I got no problem, man. I got you covered.
You're not Jewish.
Who's better on camera, Byron or Nicole?
Oh man, Nicole will hate me. Byron speaks with such ferocity now,
Gusto.
and he's so.
Don't look at him like you're kissing ass because he's
I'm just
here
saying,
in the
look.
studio.
They're both great on camera, but
Yeah.
Byron is now speaking like intense, looking straight in the camera,
Right.
like he
Yeah.
really means
He's got
what
some
the hell
fire.
he's saying. So,
Okay.
Byron.
I think we should get like a.
I like
We should make a
Nicole.
little.
All right.
Exactly.
So,
Just kidding.
are Canadians just funnier than Americans?
Oh, is this an attack on me comparing Matt Leonetti to me?
Yes.
I don't think Canadians are funnier than Americans.
Okay.
I think we have more edge to us.
Okay.
I think we're not as nice as them, which I think makes us more funny. So
Who's
no.
your favorite comic?
I mean, it used to be Chris D'Elia. I liked Jackie Mason growing up.
Yeah.
Because
Wow,
he
that's
was
old school.
Jewish like me, and
Yes,
I once saw him.
Yes.
Definitely not Pete Davidson.
Yes.
I don't
Thanks for
know.
ruling that out.
Yeah, I guess Chris D'Elia.
Okay.
Stupid answer.
No, I love that. No,
Yeah.
but great. Okay, so look at what we were talking about. Should we create an NFT?
Absolutely, we should. We should combine NFTs, me
Okay.
and you, and get access to Tom Ferry events.
We'd be
We could have-
the broke coach.
Probably not. That's not good. brand.
Let's not go there. That's
That
bad.
was a good one, Jason.
Don't have that ever published anywhere. Okay, good.
Favorite comedian Norm Macdonald.
Norm
who just passed
Macdonald,
away. I watched
legend.
Norm
Yes.
Macdonald clips
Yeah,
for
yeah.
days. Chris D'Elia was just the first name
Yeah,
I thought of.
yeah.
Forget that entire answer.
Yeah, yeah.
Norm Macdonald.
edit that out.
And then on the Howard Stern show, I used to listen to Artie Lang a lot.
Yeah.
Who was laugh out loud funny. So Artie
I
Lang,
agree.
Norm
I agree.
Macdonald.
Shout out to all comics. All right, so the last question is probably the most important question for the broke agent. What do you do with all your money?
Oh man, I invested in Facebook ads. Basically, that's what I do. New golf clubs, Facebook ads.
What's your index?
my handicap?
Yeah.
It's got to be at 15 right now.
We
When I
should
played
play.
with Byron, I shot 82 the other day.
Wow. What did he shoot on the back nine?
The classic joke right
yes.
there. But I got engaged on the golf course, so I could squeeze in a quick 9 right before we did on the 9th hole. And I was so nervous that on my first tee shot, I tomahawked it straight into the ground. I've never done that before in my life. I
Wow.
literally buried it into the tee box.
Wow.
And then
That's
acted
impressive.
like it was gone, like I crushed it down the fairway and just got in the
You
car.
just did this,
'Cause she had no
twirled
idea.
and walked
Yeah,
away.
nice little club twirl and just man. I have the yips and a snap hook problem.
Okay.
I get really nervous sometimes. I played high school golf.
Yeah.
And I saw a sports psychiatrist. Shout out Dr. Shapiro.
Yes.
Actually.
Yeah. Nice.
Shout
Did
out.
it work?
And all comics.
And
no,
all comics,
No,
okay.
it didn't work. I'm not playing college
Okay.
golf.
Okay.
Or I'm not working professional
We need to
golf.
get Chris Kwan to come out and play too. He was a college golfer. Like he's really good. Yeah. He was going pro and now he's a pro real estate agent. So
geez, that's a
so we know what happened to his
wow.
career.
Yeah.
But no, I think he was like a plus too. Like we'll see him tomorrow. Like
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's coming out
a
here.
really good golfer.
I'll talk shop with him.
Okay, let's ask the last question last. So, in your opinion, for all of you, how do agents find their thing? Like you found the broke agent. You found study the you know what out of Google and Instagram. Right?
I found Tom Ferry.
You found cats
Dogs.
and dogs. Well, no, she's really the cat lady.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh my God. I'm going to show you a video as soon as we're done. The I love cats.
Exposed.
Oh my God. Yes. It's actually,
Instagram's dogs.
she has 37 cats. Jason, 37
No, I
cats.
do not.
whoa,
I don't.
37 cats.
How
Take
many
away the
cats do you
7.
actually have?
I have 3.
Okay. That's a lot of
I knew
cats,
there was a
so-
3 in there. Okay.
They just accumulated over time.
Right.
So everybody needs to find their thing. Their thing could be, you're a history buff. Your thing could be like you ride Super 73 bikes. That worked out okay for Tristan, right? Like,
Yeah.
How does someone find their thing?
I'm not good at this motivational
Can I ask you a question though, Tom?
aspect of
Not motivational.
No,
like who are you really? Look in the mirror and just own it.
I don't even know who I am yet, but basically
Oh.
no, I do.
I was like,
This
oh.
podcast just ends right there.
All right,
Jason's getting on.
Oh.
I have no idea who I am, Tom. Please help me.
Tell us more about that.
lay down and tell me about your mother.
Well, it's,
I like sports.
Yes.
And Barstool Sports already existed.
Oh my God, yeah.
I was really good at social media always.
Yep.
Facebook statuses,
Yep.
commenting. I worked
Yeah.
at the Laugh Factory Comedy Club and was their social media marketing manager,
Oh.
assistant, intern. I was there.
you really?
Manager.
I was a stand-up comic at the Laugh Factory.
That made us all laugh. That was good.
Thank you. And then I got into real estate. I never was passionate about real estate, but I was doing what I was good at with real estate. And real estate ended up being the perfect avenue for that. So I kept doing what I was doing consistently with what I was good at.
Yeah.
Did that sound kind of like something like
Sounds
that?
like an intern answer.
Okay. Oh, come on.
Intern.
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I
that's-
stuck
you-
with something I was good at in
Right.
a niche
Right.
that isn't even necessarily my forte. I barely know anything about real estate.
Yeah.
But I'm good at this,
Yeah.
and I'm good at knowing what's funny, and I'm good at posting stuff, and I really like the analytical side of it. I like seeing what does well.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Right.
it's fun for me. And then like the networking aspect of it too, like, meeting you and Jason and Byron and you as well. Sorry.
Courtney.
Courtney.
Mostly,
I skipped it. I forgot the name for 2 seconds.
You got nervous.
but mostly Nicole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nicole.
Yeah.
It's been so fun, like traveling, going to conferences, like drinking
Right.
with people. Like I love every aspect of this.
I love my job.
That's the answer.
I go to conferences and I drink with
Yeah.
people.
Right. Seriously.
And they say, "Can I be on your show?"
and I'm good at networking and hanging out. I like hanging out with people.
You're a definitely you're a strong
I love
people person.
I like the guys. I'm a guy's
You're
guy,
a bro.
I like hanging out with the guys.
yeah. Yeah. What was your name?
Bro.
Right. This answer made no sense. Whatever.
Okay. No, I like it. What do you think? How does someone find their thing?
Well, I was going to ask you, what do you think your thing is?
I really have no idea. No.
Because you
No,
asked, you
yeah.
went around to all of us.
No,
Yeah,
so,
I'm just curious.
so my thing is like family, it's business, it's investing in companies,
Yep.
it's buying real estate, it's also being a dad, it's being a friend, it's being a golfer, it's being a goofball. Like I have all these, like the study, it was in 1954 or 55 that was like, if you only had one identity, that was the way you were supposed to be as a human being, right? And then what they discovered, like in 1956, 2 years later, was actually those are psychopaths. What you need to have is multiple different identities of who you are, and that actually makes you more of a human,
Yeah.
right? Otherwise, you're crazy, basically. So I have all these different things, and some of that bleeds into all of my social.
Yeah.
I mean, you see, especially
I
like
agree.
we'll just like goof around.
Yeah.
I almost cursed. I'm trying not to curse more.
Oh.
I almost did. I don't even know why. I'm just thinking about it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So there could be a whole cursing file, by the way. Just
Right.
There could be a whole nother bucket
Yeah.
called the fuck it. Just saying.
For context,
So I don't know.
just
Like,
curse words.
what about you? Like dogs, cats, Miles. What's your
Yeah.
thing?
But
What's,
you have
what's
a
your
pet
it
named
factor?
Miles or a
No.
dog or a husband?
Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah.
It's our intern. It's our intern.
Okay.
He's won 3 Emmys.
Yeah.
3 Emmys.
Who did?
You should marry that.
My
guy.
fiance.
Holy crap!
Yeah. He's legit.
I have a dog named Miles, Golden Doodle.
Do you?
Yeah.
My dog's name is North.
Really?
Mini golden doodle.
Okay, this is really. No one has the answer to this question. Jason, how does someone find their it?
Well, Tom, let me tell you, it all begins with, I think a lot of agents put too much, like we're talking about social media, we're talking about finding your identity online and using social effectively. And I think a lot of agents, they approach social through the lens of, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm technologically inept,
Right.
or there's fear or resistance, or I don't have time for this. And so they're already coming into it with maybe a lack of knowledge or a lack of confidence. And now you're
Confidence.
putting on it the pressure to say, I've got to find my thing.
Yeah.
On top of that. And I find that to be really, really debilitating and over a lot to carry.
Damn. See ya.
Sorry.
That's why I don't ask that question. I knew when you mentioned that question, I was like, I can't.
Sorry, that was a strong word. I'll
Wow.
reduce my word,
Yeah.
Tom.
Oh,
Boss man, Tom. I work for you. I do.
Not anymore.
So I'm going on my own.
Hey, we can start our own.
So here's my thing.
He'll undermine you all the time, though.
Yes.
Social media consulting.
Oh, that's another bucket for me. Kill him. The kill him bucket. I agree with you, but here's the thing. We're seeing more, the data shows we're seeing real estate agents don't have a choice anymore.
Well-
mortgage reps don't have a choice anymore. Title
Agreed,
reps.
agreed.
Every attorneys, lawyer, you name it, they've got to be out there in the public eye. So there's got to be a way. I mean, even like to your point, like, hey, I liked laughing. I liked having fun, right? and he took that and ran with it. So is it?
So
Go ahead.
I have a thought because my clients and I have been talking about their video strategy for 2022
Right.
quite a bit.
Yes.
And a lot of them, like I was having this one conversation with a client and she's like, I think I'm going to do a quick answers segment next year where I just, common questions about real estate. I'm going to quickly answer them in reels. And I was like, snooze a little bit.
Kind of
Old news.
Kind of 2020, right?
I was like-
And it also sounds very self-serving.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is the other thing that a lot of people are screwing up on right now. It's all about them.
So she's gonna like, what's an escrow? How long is the typical closing period? And you become completely substitute, like somebody else could do that for you.
Right.
You're not building a personal brand.
Right.
And I had this memory of when I moved to Nashville, I was a wannabe musician. I failed, got into real estate by accident. And I remember that when I went there was this guy named Bob Levitz, I think was his name. And he had this really popular email newsletter that went out once a week.
Right.
And everybody in the music space, whether you were a wannabe or in, was subscribed to this guy's newsletter because he was going to say something brilliant every single week. Now, he could talk about whatever he wanted to talk about. It was just whatever was in his brain, whatever he was passionate about. But I started thinking about that. I was like, it was less about what he was talking about, and it was more about people tuning in to hear what he was talking about.
Right.
And it was kind of him as the means of imparting that knowledge. It wasn't everything going on. It was just his perspective. And I was like, what if instead of quick answers, you just like whatever you're thinking about in the context of real estate, an experience you had with a buyer or a seller or you heard or an agent relationship, you're going to talk about it. And you're going to share your perspective as if every person watching is actually your client. And I think if you just said, I'm going to start talking to my phone as if it's my client, I think you're going to find out in the end, what was my thing.
I love that.
Does that make sense?
Very
I like it
actionable,
because
yeah.
it's not just salesy. People be the authority by being the educator. Or just
Absolutely.
be yourself. And people will go either like you or they don't. And it doesn't matter because we're gonna have 14 million sales next year, like just in the US. So
And the
like,
best
it's
part is
fine.
every one of those algorithms is trained to go looking for the people who do like you.
Right.
So let them work.
Right. Charisma on Demand. Have you ever seen that account?
No.
Really? I'm kind of obsessed with this. Have you seen Byron? Have you seen it?
I don't know.
Okay, so this
look at me.
I think it's my older son was like, "Hey, have you ever seen this?" And I was like, "No." I check it out on YouTube. What I love about it, so everybody just big shouts. Like I'm not an investor. I wish I was. I wish I owned this account. It's killer. All he does is like he takes like famous actors and actresses, and then he breaks down why people like them, like from an analytical, tactical standpoint. And like one of the most important things for like charisma is storytelling, which is what you're talking about, right? Get in front of your camera, but most people don't know how to tell a story. Like, and then he was giving these examples of like, my favorite one was like, did I tell you about the first time I went to prison? Like that's a good opening hook because people are like, because the first time? Was there a second time? Like, right? Like Dave Chappelle when he's like, the 4 times I met O.J. Simpson. Right? And like the show ends, and Nancy goes, oh, wait, by the way, and the last time I met him, and the whole audience is like, oh, right?
It was great.
I think you and we need to do some content, not the VA.
Yeah.
Because we're cutting him out of this partnership.
No,
You,
I don't
you're
know why you
in.
invited him.
You're in. No, we do need you.
He does reels clearly.
We need to do more on storytelling.
Totally.
All right.
Totally.
Podcast's over. What do you want to say at the end? First of all, thank you.
Thank you.
Actually,
This is great.
thank you for the very first meeting that we had, right? And thank you for always being like just fun and great and showing up to conferences and hanging out. And you've become such like this fantastic little light in our ecosystem,
Light,
right?
right
Because
there.
everybody,
It's the nicest
where's
thing
the
anyone's
light?
ever
Right
said about
Are you
me.
seriously?
Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
It's you.
But seriously, like just the energy, the fun, and quite honestly, the reason I share all your stuff all the time is because you make us laugh.
Thank you.
And this is a pressure cooker business.
Totally.
So anything we can do to laugh, to kind of, right? Or I'm not the only one. So thank you.
Thank you. I'll
Yes.
reciprocate. You were one of the first people to validate the broke agent. I think you retweeted me back in 2016 or 15 right away, or
Yeah.
reposted one of my posts.
Yeah.
I just start crying.
One tear.
And it really helped with my motivation because I was like, okay, and it was me making fun of real estate coaches.
Right.
And you
It was
had the
hysterical.
and you had
Yes.
a sense of humor to
Right.
post that on your
Yes.
story or something like that, or on your feed. I don't even remember. And it just validated everything I was doing. I was like, hell yeah, Tom Ferry likes this. This makes it cool.
Yeah.
Like someone big in the industry is appreciating this humor. And then also your network of agents that I've become good friends with.
Right.
All the people here,
Right.
Courtney. There we go.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
Hashtag cat lady.
yeah, exactly. Robert Mack, Tom Toole, like all
Right.
these guys have become like my good friends.
Yes.
So you've created a great network too. And thank you for that. And
got it.
introduced me to Jason, who's helped with social media, does lives, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Doesn't like your Canva content.
Yeah, exactly.
But only lives when your internet isn't working.
Right.
Jason's had really strong opinions today.
Yeah.
Right.
I have to push back on that. Actually. Yeah.
All right. So everybody out there, Courtney, closing thoughts?
I have one last thought or comment. Do you ever see yourself showing more face on your account?
So that's why we did the podcast, not for me to show more face,
Yeah.
but the podcast has been a huge aspect of the brand because we're introducing new agents, new marketers to an audience, and it's providing so much value. So I'm on that all the time. And then, you know, occasionally I'll show myself in my stories, and I need to do more organic content on Reels and on TikTok. My TikTok's all me, but you know, it's way easier to post a meme. So
it is.
you know, like I have to get a ring light, I have to dance. My girlfriend and dog are in the other room in my shitty apartment.
Fiance.
So it's like, exactly.
Fiance 6 days ago.
Like it takes a lot for me to like act out
Rabbi
something.
Tom Ferry,
Yeah,
by
exactly.
the way.
Rabbi Ferry. But yeah, I need to do more, 100%, especially the way vertical video and everything is shifting. I need to do more.
Yeah.
I have one last thing.
Go.
Okay.
One last thing.
This is the Courtney show.
No. Haters. I'm sure you get a lot of them on your page, like comments, people saying, like pushing back. What do you say?
Not too much. On Facebook, way more. So the Facebook audience is older. All these apps kind of ageify out. Facebook is not out, but Facebook is, you know, 55, 60-year-olds.
Yeah.
So if I post something that's edgier or drug or alcohol related, or that's maybe too like rude about clients or something like that, there's a lot of people say like, you're so unappreciative of your clients, or like, how could you possibly share something like this? But
As they type.
3-button hide comment.
Exactly.
Maybe you'll get that later.
They fuel it.
There's nothing that edgy going on here. Like it's real estate humor. So
Yeah.
there's really not much hate. If I do anything that's political, sometimes even if I use like a Bernie Sanders face or something like that, then that's when something comes out. But other than that, not too much hate at all.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Anything else before we go?
No, sorry. That was like
Sure. Final answer.
positive.
Jason, closing thoughts?
Keep it under 5 minutes, please.
Yeah, well,
I was recently reading a study.
I'm hungry.
The second time I went to prison.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. No, I think this is a great conversation. I don't really have a closing thought today. I think there was some good, do this, don't do this.
Yeah.
I think obviously like leverage vertical video.
Right.
You know, I don't need to go over everything we talked about. It's a great conversation, and I'm excited to get to hang out with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you.
It's going to be
And
a great 2 days at the mastermind.
Yeah, looking
And
forward
I'm sorry
to
I
it.
slammed your question.
Yeah.
I forget things very quickly. Yes, it doesn't matter. All right, so hey,
Hashtag
we love
Tucker.
you. Thank you so much. Everything. Cat Lady. Bye.
TheBrokeAgentStore.com.
Ooh, nice plug.